Hello everyone, my name is Rajan Janyal and I welcome you all to the sixth episode of Magic Journey with Pros. So today we have a guy who has performed lot of commercially successful shows all across India and abroad. He's been called one of the best mentalists in the world by most prestigious organization of the world. And that's not it. He's constantly active on national TV by doing shows like India's Got Talent, AXN Believe It or Not, and Trick or Real for Discovery Channel, etc. So let's start today's magic journey with Preveen Pandita. So let's
Okay.
imagine that I'm going to start in magic today. I have started doing some magic in this lockdown period. So what would you recommend me
hmm
to learn?
First of all, Ranjan, I would like to thank you for having me and giving me an
Right.
opportunity to speak of my views to the people, to aspiring magicians and aspiring artists or aspiring talent or entertainers or artists or actors or anybody who's out there wanting to be in the entertainment industry. So thanks for giving me that chance to speak my views and my experiences in life and from past couple of years. So your question is like, if somebody wants to start magic, what should he do? Is that what you mean?
Right. If someone is starting into magic today itself, so what should he start by doing?
Okay, so first of all, Rajan, it's all about passion. Okay,
Absolutely.
person should be passionate. That's the key. If you are passionate, then only you will perceive that art form and take it to the next levels. If the I see, in my career, I've come across a lot of people, a lot of not only magicians but also actors, singers, dancers, rappers, who see somebody performing something and they kind of get impressed, and they get impressed and they think that wow, that is cool, because that artist has brought that art form to such a level where you see it and it seems cool, and they get impressed or maybe motivated externally, and they see, okay, we can also do that, and they try dancing, they try rapping, they try magic, they try every sort of art form, and after some time they realize ki yaar, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not going to do it. For example, let's talk about magic right now. So many people I see, who come to me and they want to learn something. They see me performing somewhere and they come to me, sir, please teach me this, teach me that. I want to be a magician. I want to be a mentalist. I want to be an illusionist. And when they start learning magic, they understand that this is difficult, first of all, and they learn couple of tricks, they learn basic tricks, okay, and they assume that they know everything, and they know
Right.
that they think that they have cracked. Magic is an ocean,
Yes.
even we are just at one tip of it.
Right.
So they assume that they have learned a lot of things, and second thing is they think that oh, it's tricks, and eventually it gets boring. The reason is
Right.
that the motivation is coming externally. So you can survive in any art form, you can bring any art form to the heights if that motivation is internal, if that motivation is within. You're not seeing any magician, and then you're, or let's say any dancer, or let's say famous singer. You see singer, wow, what a voice he has, I want to be a singer. And you see some band performing on stage, and then you say, wow, kya band yaar, मैं भी करना चाहता हूँ ऐसे ही. So that is external motivation. Motivation has to be within, the voice that you want to perceive this art form, it has to come from within. It should be, yes, I want to do that, this is my cup of tea, and I can do better than that person, this should have been done this way. Then eventually, if the motivation is within, then you have that drive, you have that consistency is the word, consistency to keep on learning things, to keep on performing things. So that is the first point. If you want to be in this art form, you have to be really interested, really, I would say, passionate about art form. And second thing is, there should be dedication with it. It should be that you want to do it, you love doing it, not because you want to impress some girls or impress your family or friends or to look cool, yeah.
So I believe कि लोग start वैसे ही करते हैं to impress people, but slowly, slowly they can start developing the interest. Because I remember,
Absolutely.
right? So I remember I started
Absolutely. See,
magic.
yeah,
Right,
yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, exactly. In the beginning, this is how it works. Like,
right,
but like I said, yeah, definitely. You are in that phase where you want to impress somebody. But if you're doing it just for the sake of impressing people, and the motivation is not within, like you just want to perform one trick or one
right.
maybe a card trick or mind reading, and that's it. That you think, okay, मेरे को ये अभी impress करना है. So no, that then you will grow, you will do something, but eventually that drive, that fire, that passion will extinguish, it
Absolutely,
will, वो बुझ
absolutely.
जाएगा, that will not be there.
Right,
So uh, definitely you should have that drive where you want to impress some. It should start in the beginning, it should start with impressing somebody, and eventually entertaining somebody, and final goal should be inspiring somebody.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
now let's imagine कि I'm doing magic for 4 or 5 years or 2 or 3 years, and now I just want to go professional. Is it a right time, or should I give a little bit more time to basics and to practice before I go professional?
See, Ranjan, I believe that
Okay,
any art form, like, and any discipline or any art form or any business, it takes some time. That timeline is not defined, and you
right,
can't say कि यार इसको 3 महीना लगेगा, इसको 6 महीना लगेगा, इसको 1 साल लगेगा. That timeline is not defined. It varies from person to person. It varies on a lot of factors. Now, definitely you need to have that basic knowledge about your craft. For example, if you want to learn mathematics, you need to have the basic knowledge about addition, subtraction, maybe integration. These basic things you need to know. And then comes the practice part, where you have to constantly practice those things. And then in order, because basics are not enough. If your basics are clear, they also need practice simultaneously.
absolutely,
Then only you can project them together. Same is true with magic. I mean, there is no timeline defined. I mean, if your basics are clear, if somebody's performing magic and they know that कि हाँ, now my basics are clear, I have practiced this art form for good amount of time, let's say for a year or maybe for 2 years. They know now I have a bit of knowledge about cardistry, I have a bit of knowledge about handling stage, lot of basic things which an entertainer must know. Then I think he needs to get done with the practice, and then these both things should be balanced, practice as well as the basics. And then eventually you can kind of elevate the art form. So for any performer, there's no timeline. It has to be done in 2 years or 3 years. It depends on factors like how much that person is practicing that art form.
absolutely.
Magic, I believe, is like it's like I would say bodybuilding.
Right,
Somebody might do bodybuilding from 10 years.
right,
Okay, but still you don't see any significant growth in his body, because he's doing exercises, doing bodybuilding for like a month, and then leaving it for 2 months, and then again joining for 3 months. He's not consistent. So same is true with magic or any art form. Let's Bodybuilding is just an example, any art form. So you have to be significant if you want to have some good changes in your body. You have to be significant. You
right,
can't say that I have been doing bodybuilding from 8 years and still body nahi bana. That's because you're not consistent. You did it for 2 months, then you left it for 3 months, and then again you joined for 6 months, and again you left for 3 months. So there's no such timeline defined. I see people in a lot of uh, uh, entertainment industry, that who practice for 2 or 3 years, and they perform pretty well, and few people who have been performing from 8, 9, 10 years, and I can't see their craft up to the level. That's because they're not consistent with that art form.
So, Bhaiya, when I started magic, the first show that I saw was Jadugar OP Sharma, and वो कबूतर निकाल रहे थे. It was a stage show, and the illusions were done there. So, right now, the magic scenario has totally changed. Can you talk a bit about it?
Yeah, of course. See, magic, like I said, magic is about an emotional connection that you form with the audience. It's an art of astonishment, art of amazement. I'm gonna I have a phone right here with me.
Okay,
Okay. Or maybe how about I perform a coin trick for you
okay,
to answer your question very accurately. Okay. how is traditional magic different from the modern magic, right?
Right.
I'm sorry, what was your question again?
It was how traditional magic different from the new kind of magic that we're
Yeah,
doing
how
right
traditional magic is different from the modern magic. See, like I said, magic is all about the art of astonishment, art of impossible, art of belief that you give to your audiences that anything is possible. So when I say art of astonishment, so what I mean by that is an art of surprise, that the person should be astonished. So I'm just going to explain you something. I have a coin right here in my hand. Okay, so I have a coin right in my hand. Watch, if I'm performing this magic for the audiences, all right, I have a coin. I'm just going to take this coin right here, and I'm going to slowly start to rub it. The coin is gone, right?
now.
And
Right.
actually the coin is here. I'm just retaining the coin, pretending that the coin is in the right hand, just like that. Now, if I'm showing this trick to the audiences for the first time, they will be amazed. Oh wow, where is the coin? Like, how did he vanish the coin?
Right.
Like, now if I'm performing this act for the second time with the audiences, they'll still be amazed. Okay, wow, this is a good trick, and they'll be like entertained and all that. Now if I'm performing this trick 10 times for them, at the 10th time, they would you know they would be really observing things. Now, they would not be observing my left hand, they would be observing my right hand. So I'm just going to take this coin, I'm just going to take the coin right here. Now their all attention will be on my right hand. Okay, so that means there is no element of uh, you know element of wonder, element of surprise. Okay, and after that I'm going to pretend that I'm just going to rub my hand and make it vanish. So which means that there will not be even the element of surprise, because they already know what's going to happen,
Absolutely.
because they already know that the coin is going to vanish. And not only that, they have also figured it out that the coin is in my right hand. So which means, and this is what has been happening with the art of magic. And the problem with the art of magic is that many performers have been, you know performing same tricks, same things for
Absolutely.
hundreds of years. And like I said, magic is all about the art of astonishment. So if there is no innovation, no newness in magic, ultimately people will get bored, which now new magicians like me, and like a lot of people who are trying to change the perception of magic to the people, it's taking a lot of time, because already the image of magic has been damaged badly by the past performers. When you say magic to people, the first thing that comes to their mind is rabbit and hat.
Right.
That's the perception of a magician. And now when you perform magic on a street wearing a t-shirt, and it looks cool, but it's again taking a lot of time, because a lot of damage has been done by the performers. So magic is all about art of astonishment. So you got to change your acts, you got to constantly challenge the audience, you got to constantly create something new to entertain them, to amaze them. And the difference between the west and here, that's the only difference between west and here, because there they constantly innovate things, they constantly uh, if you see, the art of magic is one of the highest
Right.
highest paid
Paid
art forms in US. In
uh,
Vegas, it's like if you're a magician, you are a very very successful person.
right. The biggest star.
So because there the magic has a different meaning, different when people say he's a magician performing in Vegas or something like that, they have that different percept of magic. In India, it's not that, the same percept is not there, but definitely it has changed a lot from past years. And I'm sure that with the help of upcoming magicians like you, and already who are performing, they would be able to bring this art form more entertaining and more lively. And again, like I said, that magic in India is at its launch phase. So when I mean launch phase, so for example, if I am performing an act for audiences right now, so what people have seen is the best of magic. They have seen David Blaine, they have seen David Copperfield.
Right.
Now if I'm performing magic for them, so they are subconsciously going to compare this magic what they have already seen in the past. I
Absolutely.
mean, you got to give a lot of
Effort.
You have to keep a lot of factors in your mind, like how the actual journey in magic is very old. Like magic, some believe it originated in India, but modern magic is just 20-25 years old in India, while as in the modern magic in across west, it's been there for a long time. And when it's a new race of magic that upcoming magicians are performing. If they perform something new, ultimately you are subconsciously or consciously going to compare this with the best in
Right.
the west. And then you see, okay, I have seen the best, so you got to give credibility to the artist, and you got to uh, consider that this art form is new. And I mean, there should be a lot of support from people, of course, which is there, which I see a lot of support from people. And a lot of people are supporting Indian talent in terms of many things.
Absolutely. So let's go to the start. Can you tell us about your journey, your beginning into the magic? How you?
Yeah, so my journey has been very fascinating and very interesting, and at the same time, there I have seen I would say, uh, I'm not able to express that my journey in words. There's a feeling which is amicable and which is good and which is really. I mean, like I said, I'm not able to express that journey in words. So it's been a wonderful journey, and it's been. I mean, I'm glad that I have had experiences, throughout my journey, and things I learned, things I experienced. So yeah,
Can
I'm
you talk
glad
about
about
when you
that.
started magic? Like at what
Yes.
age?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. So basically, I started magic long back, like it's around when I was even studying, in school.
Okay.
I happened to see a trick. Somebody performed a trick for uh, for for us in school. I got very fascinated with that, and I thought, wow, that was pretty cool. Because as a kid, if you see something which is which defies the laws of physics, laws of gravity, laws of a lot of things, and you get like that child comes out from your mind, and you say, wow, how is it possible? So same happened with me, and I was quite fascinated with that trick. And then eventually I wanted to learn how that trick was done, but I couldn't, unfortunately. And many people misguided me and told me, you got to learn some techniques like kuch riddhi siddhi, you have to capture a jinn, all fake information, which was bullshit actually. And I thought, okay, maybe it's not for everybody. There must be it must be for selected people who have those powers, and who do a lot of penance to accumulate those powers. But after like couple of months, I got to know the secret of that trick. And it was a simple trick. It was just vanishing 5 grains of rice. That person who performed that trick, he was just eating 5 grains of rice, and he was chewing them. And then he had a cup of water. He would drink that glass of water and show his mouth completely empty, and then one by one, at the tip of his tongue, he would produce those grains back, put it under his fingers, and would make them vanish. That was the trick. And I got to know how that works. And I was fascinated. Like my horizons literally expanded. I was not disenchanted by the fact that magic is not real, but I was in fact more happy that it is not real, and it gave me opportunities to explore and expand my horizons literally, and to come up with more things,
Wow.
to come up with more creativity, to come up with more techniques and illusions. And that stayed with me. And after I was in college, so that thing struck me again, and that was within deep in my subconscious. And I think back in 2010, I started my professional journey, you would say.
Right.
I started doing parties and birthdays and small shows, and then I was constantly learning, practicing, and eventually, there are lots of ups and downs, and uh, you know, kind of a roller coaster journey. But 2011, I was so consumed by my art form. Like I literally lost the track of time. What is going around? Is it day or is it night, or what exactly is happening outside? And when you get consumed with that feeling, to perfect your art form, you eventually, take that, small piece of art form, and you really invest your emotions, your time, and you really want this to work. It's like there's no going back. So it's like do or die situation. You want this to work, and you don't want to do this in desperation. You want, because you can't be desperate to make it work. You have to be very subtle, you have to be very confident enough that this is going to work, and you really need to have faith and determination on your craft.
Right.
Yeah, and find ways to make your craft different from others.
Now talking about your journey, आपका एक स्ट्रीट मैजिक स्पेशल भी आ चुका है टीवी पर, एंड दैट्स अ रियली इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग बिकॉज आई बिलीव इवन नाउ काफ़ी लोग उस चीज़ को हैंडल नहीं कर पाते, उस चीज़ को टीवी तक ला नहीं पाते हैं. सो कैन यू शेयर योर एक्सपीरियंस अबाउट हाउ यू गॉट दिस टीवी गिग एंड हाउ इट वर्कड आउट फॉर यू?
Yeah, Ranjan, thanks for asking me that. And see, I was very consumed with that, feeling of performance. So I was like literally, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was the craziest, feeling going. I mean, some, problems with my hormones at that time in my mind, and I was like literally performing. That's it. I would just grab a deck of cards. I would grab a rope, grab anything, grab a mic, whatever I see, and I would start performing. I would walk out on street and I would see a random person. I would just approach him. Can I show you something? Just, I mean, it was. I mean, sometimes people are not uncomfortable. People were thinking, what's going wrong? Is he an entertainer? Is he a psycho? What exactly? Why is he like performing this much? And I was, because I was very consumed with that feeling of performance. I wanted to perform, and I was performing one act for 10 different people
Right.
and at 10 different times to see the 10 different reactions. That would, help me, study people. That would help me study a lot of things, I would say. And then I would perform one. I mean, the act which I think was very difficult, which was very good, I would perform for that a set of people. They would not be much impressed with that. But the other trick, which I think was not that great, which was like, okay, they would be really impressed. So I was like just experimenting, testing my craft, and performing everywhere. So I was performing in Jammu also, with on street. So I just used to, my job was to go on street, perform, and then come back at night. So there were no cameras, or I was having that Nokia 1100 phone at that time. There was not much technology at that time which you could use, and which you could, I'm talking about back in 2010, 11,
Right.
which you could, use, and which you could, for example, in these days, when you perform, you definitely would want to capture that. You would at least take some pictures, photos. But that time, such things were not available. And the only thing was, you just need to perform, and you just need to physically meet people. And I was performing for one group of people in Jammu, and there was a guy who spotted me performing, and he, offered me this show and told me that, would you, we are looking for a, this kind of a performance. So would you be, would you be able to make it in a show format, where we,
Wow.
make it, make the shooting, and not just random stuff, just, where you could script. So that's,
Kind of
yeah, that's how I got that television show, and that was a huge hit in North India. I was getting, that channel in fact was getting a lot of inquiries and reviews on that show, because that was a very new thing. It was never been done by anybody on TV. I
right.
mean, we have seen people performing on stage, but at that time it was very new. And the kind of craft that I brought in, it was pure street magic.
Right.
And and even I was not sure how people are going to react to this, because that was something very new for audiences, like in India. Even right now, it's the
Right.
magic is at the launching phase in India. So yeah, and people really liked it, enjoyed it, and that was very good. And after that, I started doing a lot of television shows, appearances on TV, and that's how I got my first
So
break on TV.
now let's go to the corporate side. You're one of the best mentalists in India right now. So how did you start? आपने मेंटलिज्म की जर्नी कैसे स्टार्ट करी, कॉर्पोरेट मेंटलिज्म की जर्नी?
Yeah, hi. So I believe this title is given to me by the people, by by people who watch and who see a lot of people performing. That's how they differentiate and all. And I'm glad that I'm able to entertain. So my job is to entertain them. My job is finally to inspire them. It doesn't matter like if I'm the best or not the best. That is like I don't count those things much. And see people have this misconceptions conceptions about corporates and non-corporates and audiences and stuff like that. There is no such thing called as a corporate performance, a non-corporate performance, or anything.
ओके.
It is just performance. You just need to perform. If your performance is really good, up to the mark, it's crisp, you definitely will have your chances to perform for which we call as corporates. And if your performance is not crisp, it's not refined enough, then definitely you have to work on that, and then you will be called, because how I believe how it works in corporates is they don't go on recommendations. If I happen to call somebody from Google or somebody from Amazon,
Right.
because I performed a couple of shows for Google and for Amazon. And if somebody would call Amazon and tell, okay, hire this person, he's good, so they would not hire that person. The Amazon or Google or any MNC or any big corporate, they would want to talk to you, and they would see what you're performing. Okay,
Okay.
I can recommend anybody, like, or anybody can recommend me. So I can say, okay, Mr. X is performing this, or Mr. Y or Mr. Z is performing this. So, and then once they see your content, once they see what exactly are you performing, then only they will be able to decide whether they want to have you or not have you. And for corporates, mostly it's about the crisp content. It should not be it should not be boring. It should be very entertaining, and it should be to the point performance.
एब्सोल्युटली. सो आपने थिएटर शोज़ भी करे हैं, आपने कॉर्पोरेट शोज़ भी करे हैं. सो डू यू थिंक देयर इज़ अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन बोथ ऑफ देम? राइट.
So I started my public show back in my first public show, which was in 2012. And at that point of time, I have started to perform for private parties and some big institutions. I was doing a bit of corporate shows as well, but I was not doing much corporate shows because my focus at that point of time was not the corporates. My focus at that point of time was my performance. Like, I wanted to just enhance my performance. So I think that public show was a great idea for that. And it really, because when you perform for common people, they are the boss, they are the judge. They, if you're performing for common man, common people, that's how it comes to that's how you judge yourself, what kind of performer you are. And so did my first show in 2012 for an audience of, I think, 80 to 100 people showed up. It was a small studio, and it really worked. I got to know my mistakes. I got to know the my silly errors which you see in performances, and I worked on them. And then when you work on performances, and then eventually I started performing a lot of corporate shows, and then I traveled across the world. I have traveled in 28 different countries. And then that I was constantly performing, but public show I was not performing much. Then I did my second public show, which was a very huge public show in 2016. I named that show The Mind Control and Night of Illusions. And I think it was a sold out show. And it was in Pune for an audience of 750.
वाओ.
And it was a lovely experience. And again, I put up a couple of more public shows. And then my recent public show was, I think, in the month just before this lockdown.
राइट.
uh, I think in the month of February, it was, I named that show as The Butterfly Effect. And again, that was a sold out show. And I done a couple of more shows. Like, the concept is same. I take out my show, I name my show, and take that same show in different cities of India. For example, my show Mind Control So I performed that show in Pune, in Bombay, in Bangalore. And my plans for this butterfly effect were the same. I was taking this show, and this time I was taking the show to Sydney as well,
Wow.
to Darling Harbour in Sydney. There's a huge, ICC hall. I have booked that. I was planning to do the tour in India as well as Australia, but unfortunately, due to this lockdown, we have to wait. So if, obviously, so these public shows, they are for actually for yourself, and they they judge your capability. I mean, let me just be put it in this way: if you do a public show and it's a sold out public show, you have made it.
Right.
That's it. You
Absolutely.
have made it. And if you do corporate shows, if you keep on doing 100 corporate shows, I mean, still, there is a lot to do. There's a lot to do. Corporate shows do not judge you. They just, I would say, a source of earning. I mean, it's good if you're performing corporate shows. It's good to perform them. But if you really want to know what level are you at in terms of performance, then public show is for you. And public shows are not for everybody. Not every entertainer, not every artist in magic can do the public show. They may be good, in performing corporate show. They may be good at performing, live shows, stage shows, or even street shows. But public shows are something which I believe every performer should have at least once in a lifetime.
Right.
So my main reason, I'm just going to tell you a story. My main reason why I did my first public show was second public show, in fact, Mind Control and Night of Illusions. My aim was ki I want people to come and see me and pay me. That was a silly thing. That was a kiddish thing, but it was like, I want people to come and see me, and they should pay me to see me. That was the thinking that I had at that time. It was like silly thinking, but now I understand it's not about that. It's, I should be able to motivate them. I should be able to entertain them, inspire them. That is why I'm doing public show. And not everybody is getting opportunity in India to watch magic, the way I do it, the way a lot of performers do it.
Right.
Because in corporates, it's limited. Only those set of people would be able to watch. And if some random person wants to, see magic, wants to learn magic, so I think I want to serve the magic community, as well as I want to do good for people, and I want people to have a platform and opportunity where they could see, the real magic performances.
Right. So talking about ticketed shows, most of the performer nowadays जो ticketed shows कर रहे हैं और magicians जो ticketed shows कर रहे हैं, they are working with some event company who are promoting their shows. So आप खुद अपने जो ticketed shows करे हैं वो आपने खुद करे थे या you also have a company who manages this thing for you?
See, Ranjan, I have my own office actually. So
Okay.
I have my own set of team who does everything for me. I mean, they
Right.
exclusively work for me. And it doesn't matter if you have a team, if you are in touch with event organizer, if you are not in touch with event organizer, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
What all matters is how good of a performer you are. And people do not come to watch you because uh, because some event company has suggested that, okay, we are in a collaboration with this artist. No, it doesn't work like that. If you are a really good performer, if you're performing something exclusive which has never been done before, which is entertaining, as well as which is like a jaw-dropping performance, then you don't need anybody. You can do a show on your own, and still it's going to be a great show. And if you should have believe in yourself that my show is a good show. And take feedback from people. It should not be, you should not take feedbacks in an egoistic way. If somebody says,
Right. I had a question for you, भैया, कि I've seen a lot of
yeah,
performers
yeah.
talking about this thing कि if you're working with a good company, only then it is possible to do a good ticketed event.
Yes. See, I don't agree with see, we can have different opinions. Everybody can have their own opinion. I'm not saying that you should not have any company involved, or you should have any company involved. it depends. Whatever works for you best, you should do that, whatever works for you. In my case, I find it that there are many companies who approach me and they want to kind of have a partnership with us, where they want to organize a show with us, but I refuse to do that because I simply believe that uh, I can manage those things, by my own. My team can manage those things by on their own. And my point is that, if what maximum can any event company do is to, they can what max they can do is they can help you maybe update many people or promote, you can say,
Right.
your show to people, but ultimately that does not guarantee the sale. There are two different things. One is called promotions, marketing, and then there's this actual sale which happens. People who buy your ticket. If if there is a company involved who is investing a huge amount of money in promoting your show, and definitely they would have a kind of an agreement where they would have their own share, at the end. And if they don't guarantee you that, they don't guarantee you ticket sale, because ticket sale is ultimately done by the viewer, by the audience. And if they believe in your craft, then only they buy your ticket, otherwise they don't. No matter how much you promote it, how much you have association with the best event company of India or of world, but if your craft is not good, if your you know things are not up to the mark, definitely people are not going to. And people are very smart in India.
Right.
They recognize talent. They don't, they're not blind. They don't think that, okay, this guy has this much views or this guy has less views, so okay, let's go for more views. No, they don't do like, they don't. The ticket sale does not happen like that. The ticket sale happens actually on the content, what he's offering. No matter he's not even famous on social media, he's just got 20 subscribers or 30 subscribers, but still if his content is really good, they would not go for the person who has 30,000 subscribers or 40,000, whatever the number is.
Okay, now talking about YouTube, आपने अभी YouTube की बात करी है. So how do you think, how much do you think कि YouTube presence is important right now?
Yeah, see, definitely any social media platform is important, but it is not the only thing. Okay. So let me elaborate what I mean by that. I mean, I've seen a lot of people getting crazy on YouTube or Instagram, on Facebook, on a lot of these, social platforms. And they forget that this is just a platform
Right.
to use to use it to promote their craft and to show it to other people. Now what is happening is people have started becoming YouTubers rather than sticking to their own art form. I've seen a lot of singers, magicians, in fact, they've become YouTubers. I mean, they're two different things. Being a YouTuber is a different thing.
Right.
Being an artist who is using YouTube as a platform to promote his stuff, that is a different thing. So far as I'm concerned, I'm using every and any social media platform to I'm using it to promote my stuff so that other people could watch it. Definitely I believe it is important, but it is not the only thing.
Right.
Your craft is most important thing. So what you can show on these platforms is your craft. And if your craft is not up to the mark, no matter you have million views on a video, it's not gonna affect. And I mean, there are a lot of things happening these days, they're like, I mean, I think it's foolish for people to pay to these websites, or to promote their photographs or promote their videos. This is, I think, pointless. There are a lot of these websites which ask you to pay, and they increase your subscribers, they increase your views. And also on Facebook it's happening, on Instagram it's already happening. And people fall for this trap, and they believe that if we have more views, more number, that is, then people are going to recognize. No, definitely, it may help them having a bit of, not establishment, having a bit of that fame.
Same.
But in a long run, eventually it is your content. It doesn't matter if that content has 10 views or 100 views or 1,000 views. It's the content which is going to take you to the heights.
Like how many people are engaging with you now? So I've seen a lot of people.
Absolutely, yeah. How how many people are in? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. It's all about, like magic is all about, entertainment. Magic is all about astonishment, and magic is all about taking that stress out, from if I'm performing for somebody, even for a moment, if I'm able to take his stress, if I'm taking able to take his, thinking, whatever sad he's thinking, if I'm able to make him forget that sad thinking and bring his attention to the craft. Okay, he might even think for even that may be temporary. That may be like,
Right.
okay, how this is. Imagine somebody is very sad. Okay, and I come and I perform for him, and even for a moment his mind would be diverted. Okay, how is it possible? How they that did that? So my job is done because I diverted his mind from whatever he was thinking to this thing. So that is the job of that's the actual job of a magician, to entertain people, to inspire them, to bring out that moment of astonishment from their lives.
Fabulous. That is the exact answer I was looking for. So now let's go to some serious questions. So
Yeah.
let's go for this one. Let's imagine कि I want to start doing magic professionally now. So what
Mhm.
would you recommend me? How can I get into the market of the corporate market? Let's say someone wants to do that
Yeah,
online.
yeah. The I have answered this in the beginning also. Like,
Right.
to be a magician, you need to have passion in you. You
Right.
need to be passionate for the art form. I'm just going to wrap up this in 3 or 4 points, which are very important. First point is, of course, which is the most important point. You should be passionate about your art form,
Absolutely.
and passion you cannot buy. You can't pay anybody ki mere ko passion chahiye, just get me, I'm paying you 50,000, so make me passionate about music, make me passionate about magic.
Right.
Passion has to be within. That is the essence of the any art form. First thing is, you have to be passionate about your art form. Second thing is, you have to be disciplined and dedicated. So I'm just gonna discipline and dedication are two different things, but I'm just gonna put them in one single box.
Okay.
You have to be very disciplined and very dedicated towards the art form. Third thing is consistency. You got to be consistent with your art form. You can't it shouldn't be like, okay, I have practiced guitar now for 1 day, 1 week, now I'm going to practice next tune after 2 months or 3 months. So consistency is the most important thing. And number fourth point, which is you know making your content available to public. That is the fourth important thing. So what I mean by that, making your content available to public, is that people should know that, okay, you are a magician, you perform, so they should be able to know that, okay, for example, Mr. X or Mr. Y or Mr. Z is a magician, he performs, so make sort of a content available for the public. Okay, just promote or do self promotion, or through any social media or through a mouse communication, which is the best thing. Tell people that I am a magician, I perform, and start performing for as many as people as you want.
Absolutely.
When you perform, I mean, I don't know what science is involved with that. Not only your practice gets you get to practice, and your art enhances, but also you start getting work in real world.
Right.
When you perform for more people, no matter you perform for free, you perform paid, it doesn't matter, but you just gotta perform. That's the only key.
Absolutely. I have also realized one thing कि अगर आपका content online available है, people are going to find you in some way. So I stopped performing for 1 year and I was in Jammu and I was making videos, some random videos that I have on YouTube. And suddenly I
Okay.
got 5 to 6 calls from universities, from IIT Mood Indigo, from Al Sharinga, and there is one NIT Trichy. So I wasn't
That's
looking for work
lovely.
at that time, and suddenly I realized because of YouTube, because of videos I'm posting, I'm getting inquiries. So अगर आपका कंटेंट ऑनलाइन है, जैसे आपने कहा, अगर आप कंटेंट डाल रहे हो, देन यू डोंट नीड टू फाइंड अ टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट कंपनी और समवन लाइक दैट. आपके पास खुद वर्क करना
Absolutely.
स्टार्ट हो जाएगा.
Correct.
राइट.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. I mean, you get inquiries. I'm glad that you told me that. Yeah, that's the same thing that I'm saying. Fourth point is making your content
A very
available to people. I mean, when I say people, it means to people who are, for example, to corporates, to event organizers, to anybody or everybody. I'm getting a lot of make your content available to people. So like you said, you had your videos on YouTube, and that's how people started to inquire about your show. That's what. So use these social platforms to make people aware that what you do, and not to be obsessed with this thing and become a YouTuber and leave your mainstream uh, and start impressing people on online, and to get views, comments, and all. So that's a different thing, you know which people doing, which I mean, it's working very nice for few people. But your basics should be clear. What you want to do you want to use these platforms to promote your stuff, or do you want to be obsessed with these platforms and make these being a YouTuber as your profession? So that should be very clear about
absolutely. I've seen
when you
a
put
lot of big
videos online.
YouTubers do this thing also. So a lot of big YouTubers are not YouTubers; they do professional shows also. So even Bhuvan Bham, someone like Bhuvan Bham, he put out his music and he do live concerts. So
Okay.
he's not just a YouTuber, I believe now. क्योंकि
Mm-hmm.
most of the people are not earning only from YouTube; they are going for the professional in mainstream also. And one more thing
Absolutely.
related with this content that I want to ask, I believe ki the kind of content you post is the kind of work that you will get. So I realized the videos I was posting was more of a youth related, mostly college videos, जहाँ पे their fest हो रहा है, कुछ वैसा हो रहा है, and I was shooting videos that time. So the inquiries I was getting from that kind of a people only. But I believe
Okay.
अगर आप corporate की photos या videos डालोगे, then you will start getting inquiries from corporate people, right?
Well, this is, I mean, not completely true, but yeah, what you said in the beginning, that is very true. Like what you portray yourself on the internet,
Right.
you will attract relevant people. You will attract, those kind of people. If you're, portraying yourself, you know, um, a television performer, so you'll get contracts, you'll get inquiries from television. If you're performing, portraying yourself as a college magician, you'll get more work from colleges. But yeah, again, that is true, but not completely, because uh, when you put out some content, so definitely everybody's watching that.
Right.
And it's like if you're singing a song, it doesn't matter if you're singing a song for a kid, for a grown up, for an adult, for a girl, for a boy, for anybody. It's just a song, and whoever is interested to listen to that song, they are going to contact you.
Great. So now let's go for the ending few questions जो मेरे पास हैं, and they are
All right.
very interesting from my point of view. Now you have done
Okay.
India's Got Talent. Can you share your
Yeah, yeah.
experience of that show also?
Well, see, I don't want to be, biased, but that is the show which is not for many people, and that is the show which is for many people. So,
Absolutely.
that show is not some for a performer, someone like me. It may be good, platform to for a person who wants to, kind of. Do the television magic, not the scripted television magic, because there's a lot of scripting going on, in these shows. And even the comments which come from the judges, they have to read those comments. They have to uh, and they have to kind of read those comments, remember those comments, and that's how it works. And that is not a talent show. First of all, I just want to clear a few things. So I'm going to say a few pros and few cons about these TV shows. First of all, when we say India's Got Talent, or any dance competition in India, those are not talent shows. Those are television shows. And when we say television shows, they don't care about what you have to offer, or your talent. They care about TRP. you know
Absolutely.
your show should be something which is liked by most of the Indians. And their mentality of the producers of the show is that they will portray you, either you are coming from a very poor family, having a very poor background where your mom is washing utensils in other homes. If you come from that background, then definitely you are going to be star in this show. or somebody, your dad has left you or died or something like that, then definitely you're going to be star in this show. I mean, if you are a middle class person, I mean, if you belong to a middle class family, and if you are super talented, if you have great, art to offer, great entertainment, probably that's not the show for you, because what they look in these shows is drama more than talent. They look for drama, and they look for TRPs. They care about TRPs, and that's it. I mean, it has worked for a lot of people, but if I have to remember, I can't even remember one person from that show who has made it very big. I mean, from if we talk about 10 years, I think this show is from 10 years, right?
Right.
10 to
Yeah.
11 years.
10, 11
10
years.
years.
Yes.
I can't even remember one person from that show who has made it very big, because eventually it's like aaj ka khabar. It's like a newspaper. You just read it today, and tomorrow it's going to be a new newspaper. And what happened with my show was, they don't even give you your content.
Right.
So I mean, I performed on that show, and I asked for my content, so I somehow got that content. When I posted that content online, and I got a copyright claim for that I cannot post this or use that content because that belongs to that channel. So which directly means that they do not want performers to grow. They don't
Right.
want anybody who's, unlike shows in abroad like America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent. Those are the shows where they want performers to be the star. They want performers to grow. They have huge online channels, YouTube channels, where they promote the content of the performers, and they share the content with the performers. But this show has nothing to offer in terms of these things. This show is like, you're gonna be on TV. This is for people who just want to be on TV. So this is gonna work good for them.
So I have realized one thing. A few of my friends have done this India's Got Talent TV show, and I was working with one of my friends for writing something for him, and the things he told me, ki, first of all, scripts. Even I have done the auditions for India's Got Talent. I was told to do a specific act, and when I
Mhm.
said कि मैं नहीं करना चाहता, then it's over for you. That's what I've realized.
Yes, it is all for you. Yeah. So
So
I'll tell you my experience with that. And when I performed my act, so I was in the round second, then in the round third, and now the producer was constantly forcing me to. So basically, how it works is, there's they hired a company. Mostly the Fremantle does all of the stuff for them. So Fremantle basically organizes the talent. So they have a talent manager, which is called the talent head. So the job of the talent head is to watch YouTube and see acts of America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent. Okay.
that's what happened with
So
me
they
also.
have the acts. Okay. Now they get the acts, and now their job is to find the relevant person who can, kind of copy such act. So then, if they would contact a classical dancer or a classical singer to perform a rock rock show or something like that.
Right.
I mean, it was it was a new experience for me at that time. When I there was a classical dancer, they made him perform pole dancing. And because it is not a talent show, it is something, there's a act, the producer wants you to perform it. It doesn't matter if you are interested, not in, and you, as a artist, you can't say no. If you say no, then you'll not be the part of the show. You'll be thrown out of the show. So same happened with me in the later stages, when I refused to perform such acts, and I told the producers of the show that I have my own acts which I want to perform. The problem with the show is that they don't want to do a trial and error thing. They don't want to try anything new. So for them, it's like copy in the sense that they have seen that, okay, this act has been performed on America's Got Talent, so this is going to work in India as well. So they have different audiences there, different culture there. We have different audiences, different cultures, different mindset. I mean, what works here in India, what can be a great act, may not be a great act there in the West. And what is a great act there may not be the great act here. So the makers of the show don't understand this, and they're probably not letting performers, I'm not just talking about magic, I'm just talking about any general acts. They don't let performers to, to kind of think. They don't let performers to say, okay, I have this act, I want to perform this. So if you say I have an act, I want to perform this act, even the act, I mean, the fact is that they don't let you try your stuff, like what you want to perform. They don't, give you that liberty as an artist, or maybe that opportunity or that chance. Okay, I have this act, at least see, maybe it's going to work. So they have closed mind. They have very narrow mentality, wherein they just want to make you copy the act. That's it. So if there's an act which has got hit on America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent, they just want you to perform that act. That's it.
Right.
Creativity gayi baad mein, talent gaya baad mein. They just want you, they can, I mean, my point was, I had an argument with the producers, the makers of the show at that point of time. It was long back. I told them, yeah, if you want to make, if you just want to copy this, you can hire anybody. If you can, जो सड़क पे लेबर है उसको भी आप हायर करोगे, एक हफ्ते का ट्रेनिंग दे दोगे, ये सिखा दोगे, he can also perform this act. That was my entire point. And dancer can perform singing act, a singer can perform magic act. I mean, that was crazy.
So
And
also this year तो
yeah,
हुआ था, probably there is a lot of conspiracy also this year that a magician won and it was all set up.
I'm not aware of that. I really barely don't watch much. But after that, I've been constantly see, when you are a, when you you are a performer who has just started your career. These the channels try to exploit you. They try to dominate you. They try to kind of control you, and so that you don't grow much. But eventually, after that, Colors Channel has been contacting me every year to come up and perform for that show, and to consult them for, and to uh, you know get paid for performing. And I've told them clearly, I'm sorry, no. And I've been a part of many shows which are broadcasted on Sony Channel and ZTV.
Okay.
And yeah, so I've been part of many those shows. But yeah, I think and I'm not saying that India Got Talent is not it's not for anybody. Yeah, definitely there are people who, if they want to have the kind of experience, they just want to
That
be
might.
broadcasted on television, or they just want show their friends, look, I was on TV or something. It's for them. It's not for serious performers, it's not for professional performers, I would say. And I think that India Got Talent is a employment scheme for three people. For this Kiran Kher, Kiran Auntie, Karan Johar, and Malaika. So it's a long term employment scheme for them, more than promoting the talent and art.
So I thought कि a lot of people who go on India's Got Talent or some TV show like that is कि they can get a TV bite so they can promote themselves in corporate market or like in private parties also, wherever whatever their
Yeah.
market is. So is this a right
Well,
approach?
I completely disagree with this. I mean, मेरी भी यही सोच थी initially. Okay, I'm gonna show that I have come on TV, and मैं ये TV का bite लेके I'm gonna make a promotion, and then देखो मैं इनके साथ आया हूँ and all that. This was my mentality in the beginning. That's the reason why tried this television show. But eventually I realized that in the real world it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Who you have worked with and who you do not have worked with, what works is your content. I'm going to share a story with you. Back in 2017 it happened with me. A very famous performer on, I don't want to take his name right now.
We can wait.
Very famous performer. He has performed a lot of shows on TV, India's Got Talent, and other local channels. And I was called up for a show in Bangalore back in 2017. So when I got the show, and I was in a conversation with the event organizer of that show, and the event organizer told me that we have sent the profile of that person to the client, who is the that corporate, and they refused to hire him. And we sent the we took some your content online, and we presented it to the client, and the client was immediately ready to work with you, and client said that we want Preveen show, to as be our main entertainment. And I requested that organizer, can I have a look at that? He told me the name, of course, as well. And he told me, can I have a look at that video that that performer has sent you? And I seen the video, and I see big celebrities in that video.
Okay.
And who yeah, I see a lot of big famous people in that video, which was his show reel. But the client refused to work with him. So then I got to understand that in the real world, things don't work because you have been on TV and you have performed with XYZ person. No, corporates hire you because of your content, because of your personality. Magic is all about personality. Magic is not about tricks. Magic is not about gimmicks, or magic is not about performing for big shots or small shots. And second thing is, and public shows are also about content. They're not about, okay, there are certain category of people, I would say 5 to 10% of people who think, okay, this guy has performed for this XYZ celebrity, okay, he may be good, let's just go. But that is, you know there such people do exist, but that number is very less, and that is actually a very narrow mentality.
Right.
That's what I believe. Yeah.
Absolutely. This has totally changed my point of view. I used to think you need to perform for celebrities, you need to have few bites if you want to promote
Not
your
at all. Never, never. See, I'll tell you my experience. I performed at Ambani's party a couple of
product.
months back. I was invited to perform at their private party, and when I perform magic, for me, everybody is equal. So everybody is that same spot. There's Ambani's are at the same spot. A common man is at the same spot. Anybody. So when I'm performing magic for people, for me they're just the audience. It doesn't matter they're how big shots, how rich, famous, whatever they are in their field. For me they're just audiences. And as a performer, my job is to entertain them. And the beauty of magic is that it puts everybody at the same spot. The
Right.
rich, the poor. The astonishment for a rich person and astonishment for a poor person or a famous person is equal. If I disappear like this, जितना एक बहुत ज्यादा फेमस पर्सन हैरान होगा कि ये कैसे किया, उतना ही एक कॉमन मैन भी उतना ही हैरान होगा. That is the beauty of magic. That's why it puts everybody at equal level.
Now this also answers my last question, which was ki, is performing for celebrities different than performing for someone ordinary?
Not at all. I mean, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of magicians actually. I don't know why they get scared or they get nervous or they get, मतलब उनका परफॉर्मेंस बाद में चालू होता है, कैमरा पहले स्टार्ट हो जाता है.
Right.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay to click a picture with the performer who you have performed for a video. But I mean, the main goal, the main focus should be to entertain that person, should be to amaze that person through your art form, rather than, showing to people that, look, I have performed for this person. And to be very honest, that's how it works for me. I mean, I have performed for, Adani's, I have performed for Mahindra's, I have performed for Ambani's, a lot of big people. And I have not, told anybody, look, I'm performing with Ambani, I'm performing with this. I mean, those people have seen the performance, and those people have been indirectly my sales force,
Right.
because they tell, to other person who they know, oh, look, we had this Preveen show in our event and it was good. So to make celebrities your sales force rather than becoming their sales force by posting their videos, their picture, you're not, promoting your art form. You're actually promoting,
Right.
their brand.
That's the main point I've seen with a lot of magic videos. Sorry if I'm interrupting you, but I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
90% of the videos in the market right now, where you are performing for a celebrity, people are watching those videos for them, not for you. So,
Absolutely, yeah,
so
they're
how is the
watching,
profit
and you are
really profit?
becoming, and indirectly you're becoming the sales force of those celebrities, rather than
Right.
being the sales force, rather than making those people your sales force. And of course, see, the idea is you have to entertain. celebrities is just a word for, when I'm performing magic. For me, it's just an audience. There's no celebrity or politician or business person or a common man or anybody. It's just, I'm an audience. And keep that thing in your mind. You're performing for an audience. That's it.
Thank you. Now I have an ending question for you. We are going to end
All
with a simple question. Very simple question. Maybe it is uh, out of blue, but the question is, what is magic?
right. See, magic has different meanings for different people. A blind person who sees sight for the first time, that is magic for him. A smiling face of a child, when his mother watches him, that is magic for him. So magic has different meanings and different uh, you know entity and entities for different people. It has different magic for me may be something different, magic for you may be something different. So magic is a very big word. It is an oceanic word. But if I narrow down this magic to performance mode, magic, I can't speak about others, but I'm going to speak about me. Magic for me is a connection. It's an emotional connection. If I'm able to connect with somebody at an emotional level, consciously or subconsciously, and try to take away his stress or feelings or give him the belief that anything is possible, that is true magic for me.
Wow, that's a great answer. And with this, we are ending this interview. I would like to thank you again, Bhaiya, for coming to this interview of mine and joining me. It
Thanks a
really means
lot.
a lot.
My pleasure.